Hi, hello friends, and welcome back to another Woollen Wytch video. It's been a little while since I've done a proper chatty update, I guess. I've been doing little shop updates and videos about Woollen Wytch and things, but I've not actually done one where I'm actually talking about what I've been knitting, the things that I've been sort of personally doing, so I thought it was overdue, really. I do have quite a few finished objects, which is really nice. So I figured now is the time to talk to you guys. I find it really difficult to fit in filming YouTube videos. I always put a lot of pressure on myself for doing them, and then I never actually get round to it. And I just have trouble. I don't really have a space to film. So I set up, this is in my office. I'm sort of facing towards your window, so you might see as the sunlight comes across, and the light changes quite a lot, like now. So sometimes it'd be like super shadow, and sometimes it'd just blow out my face, and because I'm quite pale skinned as it is, suddenly I start matching the door in tonal range. I can only apologise. There's not really any other space in this in my flat at the moment for doing anything. But yeah, I mean, that might change soon, hopefully. I'll talk about that a bit later. Yeah, I've sort of lost my knitting mojo lately, which is a little sort of not depressing, but it's a bit annoying because I do really enjoy knitting, but I think because the project I'm knitting at the moment I've had on my needles for so long, I've lost motivation with that, and therefore it's not really happened for anything else. I have a lot of other projects that I want to be working on, but because I've had this one on my needles for so long, I don't want to cast anything else on, because I just want this one finished. And I think that is just sort of messing with my motivation for it, which is sort of annoying, but there we go. But I have finished a part of it now, so it's actually looking like the item, which is nice. And I'm just going to stop talking around it and actually tell you what it is. So it's actually the Field Day Jacket by Ozetta or Hailey Smedley. It's a pattern I found on Ravelry, and it's just a massive cozy cardigan. So I think a while ago in one of my previous videos I was talking about it, and I just started knitting it. But I finally finished like the body of the cardigan, and I've cast it off, and it took forever to cast off that part. It was using a tubular cast off method, which I'd never done before, and to be honest, I've not enjoyed it. I know some people really like it, but I think because of the sheer width that I was having to cast off, I was just getting really like in a tangle all the time, and it was stressing me out, and I just wanted it done. But that part is done now, and now I'm moving on to the sleeves. Let me grab it out for you so you guys can see. But it's quite a weighty thing because I really wanted it like super oversized, so I could just sling it on around the house and just be warm and super cozy. But yeah, it's looking nice. It is. I'm not gonna fault the pattern. It is a nice pattern to be knitting, but I think for me, because I'm not a petite woman, and I don't know, I'm quite broad-shouldered as well, which weirdly it doesn't look like it in the video, but I am. So I have to, if I'm knitting something oversized, it has to be even bigger than that. But yeah, I think it's just the sheer size of this project. It's taken me too long, and now like it's taken me so long that I no longer even do the yarn that I started with. So this is the Field Day Jacket without the sleeves at the moment. So I've literally just started one sleeve, And yeah, you can't really tell on here. I will insert a little video of me wearing it just so you can see the fit and the length of it. It will be a really nice cardigan when I eventually get there, but yeah, it's going to take a while. But I'm on the sleeves now, so it feels like I can finally see the finish line, which is nice. But yeah, it's knitted using, it's a Woollen Wytch colourway, so Botanical Apothecary, which is like these really nice oranges and purples and sort of pinky reds in it. You can just about make it out in this lighting. But it's using my Merino DK base and my Suri alpaca base, which I no longer stock in the shop. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you will see that Woollen Wytch has moved away from using merino and other yarns. I am now 100% using British yarns and fibre within Woollen Wytch, which I'm super excited for. But yeah, when I started this project, I was still using imported fibres, which I no longer do. But yeah, so I'm trying to use up the last of what I've got, and I might have to, I think I've only got a skein of both of those yarns left, which I don't believe is going to be enough to finish the sleeves, so I think I might actually have to order in some yarn and dye it just for me. But I mean, I maybe just like another 2 skeins of each, I think, just because of the sheer amount that I'm going to need to finish it. But like I said, it's super soft, it is really nice. I feel like I'm berating the pattern and berating the knit. I'm not. I think it's one of those things, I've had it in my project bag for so long that I'm kind of sick of seeing it now, and I want it finished. I think for me, small projects, I have to remember that, or just like crop jumpers, or just not massive oversized things for me, I think. Anyway, yeah, that is what I am currently knitting. I have some other things that I want to cast on, and I have them ready to go in project bags, but I just want to get further in this one before I actually cast those on, because I feel like there'd be the new shiny thing that I just hyper focus on, and this will get forgotten, so I'm just trying to move on. But like I said, like, I think it was only yesterday that I finished sort of casting off the body. And I mean, the tubular cast off, it does look really nice. I just think it, for me, I was just getting in a tangle and it was too much, and this project is so big as it is that it was just another thing that I was like, oh my god, why am I doing this to myself? But it's fine. That part is finished now, and now I just get to do the simple sleeves with the decreases. So yeah, maybe I'll find the joy in knitting this project again. I'm hoping I do. But I'm so close to finishing it now. But yeah, that is what I am currently knitting. Like I said, I'm not doing any other projects at the moment, but I do have some finished projects as well, which I finished a while ago, but I don't think I spoke about them in my other videos. So I think they're new to you guys, which is nice. Because they've been finished a while ago, they are covered in cat fur. Because everything in my house just gets covered in cat fur. The risks of having 2 long-haired cats is real, guys, it's real. So the first one of these projects that I've had for a while, that have been finished for a while, is the Joanna the Lobster, which is a kit I bought for Ant a while ago. It was supposed to be sort of a beginner crochet kit, but Ant did not get on with it at all, so I quickly took over and finished it for him, because I think he was getting too stressed and he really wanted the lobster, so I decided to finish it for him. He did not do any of it, basically, and I feel really bad because he was really looking forward to like completing the lobster himself. But it's finished. It's been sat in our house for a while, and let me just flick off the final clumps of cat fur off of it. But yeah, this is Joanna the Lobster. I really like her. So this is by a pattern and a kit, actually. It was a full kit by TOFT, and the pattern is good. It was okay. I can see why Ant was having trouble with it. I think it was billed as a beginner project, I think, on their website, because I think that's why I bought it for him. But yeah, I can see why he struggled with it. It's not like super easy amigurumi to begin with, but she's cute. I like her. She sort of hangs around the house now. For a while she was Mogget's pillow in her little basket, so she cuddled up with it for a while, hence the covered in cat fur. She's cute. I like her. The crocheted animals are slowly growing in the house, and I say this as someone that has also finished another TOFT kit that I bought, which was Flurry the Monster. This one I did actually really enjoy, because she has such sort of wide parts that you can just lose yourself crocheting, which is quite nice. I finished her quite quickly. She has these cute little ears, so everything sort of colour changes in it, which I've never really done colour changes in crochet, so that was a bit of a learning curve, but I think I done alright. I mean, she looks cute and she does sit up quite nicely just on the on our sideboard, which is quite nice. She's got these cute little wings as well. Yeah, I quite like her. She's just so different as well from anything else we've got in the house. But like I said, the crocheted toys are slowly growing in my house, and I'm sort of loving it, really. Whilst I find myself more, find myself more of a knitter, I do actually quite like the break away from it occasionally to do crochet projects. I switch off quite nicely with them. I'm not really a sort of crochet garment person, but I really like doing toys in crochet. It's how I initially learnt to crochet, was doing amigurumi, which I always struggle to pronounce. But yeah, I don't know, I think they just, it's not like nostalgia, but there's just something about sort of soft toys that I just really like. But yeah, there's definitely going to be some more sort of crochet toys coming in. There's just something I really like about crochet. I just seem to knit a lot more, but I do actually really like it, crochet. I'm going to do some more. So whilst I was actually crocheting these, I done the Stitch Fest down in Newton Abbot last year, and I was like situated. I had my like booth table by the lovely Sally, actually, at Filpsy. I have a lovely card here just for a detail. So her husband does all the wood turning, and she goes along to shows and sells all their work, and there's some beautiful things they have there. So she usually brings along some really nice yarn bowls. There's always loads of like crochet hooks, and she has some beautiful lamps as well with some great lampshades. But my first time ever seeing these, but she also had interchangeable crochet hooks, which I've never seen before. So I had to buy some, and it just so happened that I was crocheting at the time, so they were quite handy. Really beautifully made. I mean, each one, Sally does say like to pick up each of the hooks just to see, because they're all different handle designs, and just see which one works comfortably in your hand. So this one is the one I picked up, and yeah, they're interchangeable, which I thought was like amazing. I'd never seen them before. And I know they were really popular at a stand. So you literally just unscrew those ones. So you literally just unscrew from the handle and change the hook. And she gives you a big kit of all the different hooks, and you can just screw it on. And what I quite liked about these as well is you can also pop the hook off the handle and store it in the handle so it doesn't get catch on anything in the project bag. But yeah, I loved these. So yeah, I treated myself to a little kit. She sells them in little bags, and they come with a little organza bag with all the other hooks and everything in it, and a pair of snips as well, which I thought was great. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to using this on more crochet projects in the future, but I just wanted to share that with you, in case you guys have ever seen them before, or if not, like, I mean, go see Filpsy. They're just great. I love them. And Sally is lovely. Every time we've seen her at a show since, we've always had a chat, and yeah, she's just great. I know Ant is a big fan of her. He will purposely go around and try to find her and say hello because he loves her, which I think is great. But yeah, that was one of my treats to myself at Stitch Fest. But just before we went to Stitch Fest, I'd actually finished a knit project. It was quite a quick project. I did quite enjoy it, but it's gonna seem really weird when in comparison to the crochet toys, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. But I feel like I need a disclaimer. I am not pregnant. Please don't. I am not pregnant. We have no immediate plans of having kids. So the soft toys mixed with this project mean nothing. It was just a stash buster. That was it. And with that, I finished this. This is the Flax jumper by Tin Can Knits, and like I said, it was just a quick stash buster. I had this yarn just in my stash for a while. It was I think it was two skeins I'd hand dyed of merino Aran, and I didn't like the colour as a skein. And I didn't really want to put it in the shop because I don't like putting things in the shop that I'm not so proud of. But actually, knitting it up, it actually looks really nice, and I sort of wish I'd kept hold of it and dyed myself some so that I could have a jumper. But unfortunately, this is a little small for me. Yeah, like I said, not pregnant. The fact that I have soft toys and a children's jumper means nothing. No. Take it out of your brain. But it used exactly the two skeins. I think it's a size, I think it's supposed to be a 2-year-old, but because I knew I was knitting a children's jumper, and I wasn't knitting it for anyone in particular, I didn't pay attention to my gauge or anything, so it's just a finished jumper. I know my cousin had, but yeah, it's just a finished jumper. And I actually quite like the colour, so I think I will be dyeing some of the skeins up like it. I think I don't know, it just didn't look great as a skein. So I was sort of put off by it, but I actually, yeah, it's just purples and some sort of olivey greens in there, and it knits up just really nicely. And the pattern was great. That was super easy. I think I finished this within a week. I was going to college for a few months last year, and I took this into the lessons that I was having and knitting along, and which the teacher was like amazed by, which was great. And she was always asking me how the project was going as I was doing the lessons. But yeah, I finished it really quickly, and I really love the colour, and it would just sit in a box, I think, until there is a child that I can gift this to. I'm really chuffed with that one. I really enjoyed the Flax jumper. It was a super easy sweater pattern. It's free on Ravelry, which is great, and yeah, I just really liked it. I think I can see myself like knitting myself one of these, and probably one for Ant at some point. But yeah, those are all the finished projects that I currently have on, like, at the moment. I think I finished a sock as a sample using Kingfisher yarn, but I don't know where I've put it. Okay, totally told a lie. Those were not the only projects that I've done. I've literally just remembered. I've been designing my own knitting patterns lately as well, which I've been really nervous to share, but I've popped them up in different places, along with some kits to knit your own. But yeah, oh, okay, you can tell I'm nervous because I don't really know how to share this. But the first one is a little drawstring pouch I made, which was quite cool. So I wanted a little project to do for some minis, to put together as a little kit on the like Woollen Wytch shop, just so that people could have a play with the different yarns, because I know a lot of people are sort of nervous about trying British yarns, so I just wanted some for some little minis. So this is a little drawstring pouch, and with a little mushroom sort of motif on the front. Super quick. It was just stranded knitwork, and yeah, there's kits available in the shop. The pattern I will make available separately, but yeah, there's kits in the shop with the pattern included. But it's just a cute, whether you wanted to use it for, like, I don't know, picking up random bits on a walk, or putting crystals or dice in there. I just thought it was super cute. So yeah, there's a little pattern for that one. But the big boss pattern that I'm working on for ages is the Scarab Beetle Cowl. And I am particularly proud of this one, just because it's so detailed and it's like a proper full finished garment, really. So yeah, it's quite a hefty one. There is obviously a Scarab Beetle on it in my design, which is similar to the stitch marker design, and some little floral bits, and it's the same both sides, and it's quite a long one. It's quite nice because, one, in winter you can just stand it up and it goes over your face, but you can also just sort of roll it down and still kind of see enough of the pattern, and yeah, super cozy. This is another one where it's sort of a mix between the different yarn types that I sell in the shop now. So I have kits available for this one, but the pattern is also available separately. You can either download it or on my shop, or you can also download it on Ravelry as well. So it is a pattern on Ravelry. Just super cozy. The kits available, they use Scarab Beetle on my BFL base. Yeah, they use Scarab Beetle on my BFL base, and then Shetland, my Shetland BFL base on undyed, so you get this lovely sort of creamy grey colour. But yeah, I've been like super nervous about sharing it and what people thought of it. It's had some good responses, not a lot of downloads or anything, but a fair amount of people liking it, which I am quite chuffed with. But I am super proud of this one. So if you guys are interested in it, or just have any sort of comments, I'd love to know. Just because I'd love to know whether to spend my time doing more of these sort of things, or whether I'm just going completely wrong and to not bother. But yeah, there's just lots of things at the moment. But yeah, I tried to get this one out ready for stuff. And it didn't do too well at Wonderwool, which I was a little bit upset about, but I haven't really advertised it because I just haven't had the time to be like super boss about everything. Yeah, life at the moment, there's just a lot of stuff to try and juggle, and Woollen Wytch has sort of suffered for that, and I am there's no easy way to, I'm like annoyed at myself about it, but life just happens sometimes and you sort of have to swing with it. You just have to, I have to make time for some things. Basically at the moment Ant and I are, well, that makes it sound like we're splitting up. We're not, we're fine, we're good. Everything's great between Ant and I, so much so that we are now looking at buying a house. So we have the general stress of house hunting and getting a mortgage and stuff together, and that has taken up quite a lot of brain space, so other things have just suffered at the moment, but we are getting there, but it sort of explains why I don't have a lot of time to do Instagram and send out email newsletters and do YouTube videos, fit it in where I can, so much so that my battery is, and I'm gonna have to end this video. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.